Okay, let's think about this. You look around, see your phone, your clothes, maybe the fruit in your kitchen. Chances are a lot of it came here by ship. It's kind of this invisible network that powers everything.
It really is. The sheer scale is hard to grasp sometimes.
But here's the kicker, something that really caught my eye in the research you sent. Shipping accounts for about 3% of global human-made CO2 emissions.
That's right. It's a significant chunk.
To put it another way, if global shipping was its own country, it would be like a top 10 emitter. That's pretty staggering.
It definitely puts the challenge into perspective.
So that's what we're doing today, right? Deep dive into how this massive industry is trying to, well, clean up its act and head towards a greener future.
Exactly. And it's a huge challenge. We're talking over 80% of world trade moving by sea, and the pressure is on with that big goal of net zero emissions by 2050.
A massive goal. So where do they even start? Based on what we've seen, it looks like two main avenues: cleaner fuels and making the ships themselves more efficient.
That's pretty much it. Those are the big pillars. On the fuel side, methanol seems to be making waves.
Yeah, I saw that. Hyundai, the big South Korean shipbuilder, they built the world's largest methanol-powered container ship for Maersk this year.
They did. And they've got more in the pipeline. Methanol's attractive because the figures suggest it can cut CO2 by around 25% versus traditional fuel oil. Plus, it's apparently easier to store and handle than some other alternatives.
Easier, okay. And wasn't there a big order recently, Wan Hai Lines?
Yes, that was quite significant. They ordered 8 large methanol-fueled ships, splitting the order between Hyundai and Samsung Heavy Industries.
Why was that such a big deal?
Well, for a bit, China seemed to be dominating the methanol ship construction space. This order kind of signals a shift, maybe South Korea regaining some ground. It could be due to things like rising prices or maybe just capacity issues in China.
Interesting. So it's shaking up the shipbuilding landscape, too.
It seems so. And it underlines that methanol has, really jumped ahead in popularity this year, particularly for container ships. It's even overtaken LNG as the top alternative fuel choice in 2024 order books.
Right, LNG. That was talked about a lot before. And ammonia, too. Where do those stand now?
They are definitely still in the mix, but they have their own challenges. Ammonia, well, it doesn't produce CO2 when burned, which is great, but it's highly toxic. So safety protocols, handling, it's complex.
Okay, toxic, not ideal on a ship.
Not ideal. And LNG, while it does cut CO2 compared to heavy fuel oil, the big worry is methane slip.
Methane leaks, basically.
Exactly. Methane is a much potent greenhouse gas than CO2, especially in the short term. So even small leaks can offset the CO2 benefit. Finding that perfect fuel is proving tricky.
Yeah, sounds like no silver bullet on the fuel front just yet. But it's not just about the fuel, is it? You mentioned efficiency improvements, too.
Absolutely. And this is where some really smart tech comes in. Even shaving off a few percent in fuel consumption per ship makes a massive difference globally.
Like what kind of tech?
So there's a company, Neptune Robotics, out of Hong Kong. They use these underwater robots.
Robots. For what?
To clean ship hulls. Barnacles, algae, all that stuff builds up. It creates drag, makes the ship work harder.
Ah, makes sense. Like trying to swim with weights on.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And by keeping the hull clean, these robots can cut fuel consumption by, well, the numbers suggest up to 18%.
18%? Wow, just from cleaning. That's huge.
It really is. Think of the CO2 staved across thousands of voyages. Millions of tons, potentially.
Okay, that's genuinely impressive. Any other cool efficiency tech?
Yeah, another one is from Silverstream Technologies in the UK. They call it air lubrication.
Air lubrication? Sounds futuristic.
It kind of is. They basically pump a carpet of tiny air bubbles underneath the ship's hull. This layer of bubbles reduces the friction between the hull and the water.
Okay. Less friction, less fuel needed.
You got it. They report fuel savings typically in the 5 to 10% range. Again, seems small, but scale it up.
And it becomes a really big number. So connecting these dots then, what we're seeing isn't one single solution.
No, definitely not.
It's more like a multi-pronged attack. On one side, you have this push towards cleaner fuels like methanol, with players like South Korea really stepping up.
Right.
And on the other side, you have these clever innovations, hull cleaning robots, air bubbles, making existing ships run much leaner.
Exactly. It's a combination strategy, tackling both the energy source and the energy consumption.
So the big takeaway is that the shipping industry is actively working on this. It's moving, maybe not overnight, but the wheels are turning towards a greener future, using both new fuels and smarter tech.
That sums it up well.
Huh.
It's a massive, complex transition, but the direction is clear, driven by both regulation and, increasingly, by technological possibility.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, given how central shipping is to, well, everything. What other huge, maybe less visible industries are going through similar green revolutions right now? And, what could we learn from how shipping is navigating these choppy waters? Something to think about.